Hi and welcome to Infoware. I'm Thomas Schulte-Hellen and I'm going to show you OpenCar today. OpenCar is a new technology that is meant to create a platform for applications in the car. OpenCar can be seen in the context of other technologies such as MirrorLink, MySpin, Smart Device Link, Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. OpenCar, however, is fundamentally different because it has nothing to do with a smartphone. So it's not about creating a smartphone app and then somehow mirroring it to the car's display, but instead OpenCar provides an environment for which you create an application that is meant to run in the car. What we're seeing here is the simulator, the OpenCar simulator. And what this is basically is a web browser. So for OpenCar, you are creating web applications, if you like. You're using JavaScript and HTML5 to create an application. Like we have, for instance, here we've created a little navigation application prototype. And I'm going to show you how this works. Right here we have like the push turn knob that you usually have in a car that is simulated here, so we can simulate the movements that you do and then we can step through the menu, and we're going to select a destination and simulate a route to that, just to give you an idea how that works. Okay, as the technology is brand new, we don't have a car to show you an OpenCar application in, but instead we have to rely on this simulation platform that runs on a Macintosh computer. This behaves like it does in a car. We have this push-pull controller and turn controller to manipulate the user interface. And what you see here is basically a web application that we have built. So we have not started with our smartphone application and then adapted it to the OpenCar platform, but instead we built a brand new application from scratch based on JavaScript and HTML5. The experiences that we have made so far with OpenCar have been very good. The development environment works nicely, the simulator works nicely.
500 meters, turn right.
Text-to-speech works, only in English though, which is fine for us. So far, our experiences have been very good with this technology. I think it's only fair to add that we were not able to test it in the car yet, and very often the trouble only starts once you get into the car. So we'll have to wait and see how that works in the end. Okay, one very interesting feature about OpenCar is, or a concept rather than a feature, is that we built the application without worrying too much about the user interface. With that I mean that we don't create a user interface the way Mercedes, Renault, Toyota, or any OEM would like it. Rather, we're building it in a very generic, simple way, and then there are different templates. And we can then switch to a different template, and the application will run in that template too. Those templates, this is again, for instance, is a template for an OEM that would only have a touchscreen interface and no push-turn knob. So this template is then something that the OEM, if he decides he would like to use that app, he would then design that themselves. So we wouldn't have to do it. We only produce the app once in a generic way, make sure that the app runs in all the templates, and then the user, the OEM, would then design the application according to his taste and design guidelines. That makes it quite attractive for us because we don't have to adapt it to each and every platform. And as the application, an OpenCar application, is really an online-only application, it is a web page basically, we can access all the functionality that we have in our backend. For instance, you see the traffic flows here. We can turn that off and on as we like, and access all the other information that we have in our navigation backend on our servers. So that is a completely different approach to what all the other technologies have. And I find that very interesting because there is so much going on in this market and different technologies being tried out and different approaches. It's really interesting to see which technology and which approach in the end will prevail. Okay, as the OpenCar applications are all web applications, they need access to the internet. They only work when they have access. But also we can access all kinds of information that we have in our navigation backend, like traffic information, for instance. We can switch that on and superimpose that on the map display. And so we're very flexible with that this kind of architecture. What's coming up next for us, we're still working on this platform, is that currently we're using these map tiles that in this case we're downloading from here. But what we're going to do is we're going to create our own vector renderer to render the maps actually on the device, in the application in the car. All the maps will be streamed in the car and then rendered here. So to sum this all up, I think OpenCar is a very interesting technology. I find it super interesting and exciting because there are so many new different technologies coming into play all the time. Different approaches being tried out because nobody, I think, really knows yet how it's going to work out in the end with smartphone car integration. And this is a completely different approach that leaves the smartphone out of the picture completely. So this was our overview of OpenCar. I hope you like it and you're going to see more of us with this technology. Thanks. Bye-bye.